Okay, so this is like my 8th try to make this video because I want to make it short and I want to get it straight to the point for you guys. This is everything that you need to know about the Magnum. I'm not going to go into the individual features or what it comes with. Let's just get to the review and what you need to know about it, okay? The first thing I want to talk about is keeping your builds clean. If you're like me and you love a really clean build, you like your wiring to be nice and pretty, you usually spend not only a lot of time, and by a lot of time I mean like 5-6 hours on a build, but it's also a lot of frustration and a lot of guessing on what you want to use. One big point about this Magnum is it keeps it clean. The nice thing about having a stack that comes almost fully pre-put together like that and keeping it nice and neutralized means that all you have to do is solder your motor wires onto your 4-in-1 ESC. You stack your flight controller, solder your camera on, solder your receiver on, put the frame together, you're done. That also has to go with the speed of it, but it keeps it really clean as well. Having everything neutralized like it is and having the pins being able to stack from the flight controller to your 4-in-1 ESC keeps the build really clean. If you guys are into clean builds, which I don't know why you wouldn't be unless you just don't care about your quads, this is exactly for you. The next thing is speed, and not by speed as in performance of the quad, even though it is really fast, but speed is in building. I'm never for rushing a build, but being able to build this from scratch in 57 minutes is really awesome. I've never had a build like it before, and I was going back and guessing what did I miss. And 57 minutes also includes setting it up on Betaflight as well and configuring my OSD. So probably 40 minutes of actual build time with this. It's really fast. It means that I can get a lot of parts for my quads and put it together, like put 3 quads together over like a 3-hour process basically. And it's awesome. So the speed part about it's awesome. As far as performance with the board, if you're buying this thinking you're going to get tons of new performance, being able to change your PIDs or anything really crazy like that, it's not the board for you. It's just your F4 flight controller with your 30 amp ESCs. The main thing that you need to know about this board if you're buying it is, if you're buying it for new performance, you're buying it for the wrong reasons. You should be buying this board and trying this out because you want a clean stack that comes put together. There's no second guessing or checking like that. It's relatively cost efficient at $110, and it comes with almost everything you need except your motors, your frame, and your camera. Everything else is included as long as you use a Taranis radio. If not, then you could solder on your Spectrum or your FlySky or your Futaba or whatever you're using. As far as gripes with the board, there were a few gripes I had. The standoffs that came with the board seemed to be just a little bit too short on my stack. And by that I mean when you actually sit the flight controller down onto the standoffs and pin it to the 4-in-1 ESC, what ended up happening was after the pins got all the way as far down as they could from the flight controller to the 4-in-1 ESC, my flight controller was not sitting level on the standoffs that were included with the Magnum, or none were with this frame, so I had to use those. And so it basically forces you to use rubber O-rings. It's about that much of a gap distance for reference, which is no big deal. I don't like vibrations, so it's not like I'm really being forced to do something I don't want to do. I just don't like that it forces you to do that because maybe there's some random person out there who doesn't want to use O-rings and they love vibrations and they love quads that fly like crap. But that's just the only gripe I had about it out of the box. The only other thing doesn't have to do with the Magnum. It has to do with this frame. I couldn't actually sit the Magnum vertically like it's supposed to go with the pads vertically on the frame because they were hitting these standoffs right here. So I had to mount it. As you can see, the pads are on the sides of the frame, so I had to turn it 90 degrees, go into Betaflight, change the motor layout, which is a little bit of a nuisance, but again, it was all under 57 minutes, and that was YouTubing how to go into CLI commands. I'll post all these links in the description as well for anything extra I had to do. So those are my only gripes about the board. Things as far as some other random positives, you can change your PID settings in the goggles just like the Betaflight F3 board, which is awesome. It's got an OSD, it's got battery voltage, it tells you how many milliamps you've used and your current, as well as RSSI data, which is really cool. And it comes with that Taranis receiver as well for that. So 0 gripes as far as that goes. The parts are also interchangeable, so if you, let's say, kill the 4-in-1 ESC, just buy a replacement 4-in-1 ESC from Emax, and then stack it onto there, you're done. Same thing with the receiver, video transmitter, and the F4 board itself. And that's one big point that you guys need to understand that no other all-in-ones on the market currently have. Such as the AirBot and the KISS. You fry one can put it on there, you're done. Watch Rotor Wright's video about the KISS all-in-one and you'll see exactly the same thing. So for someone like me who's never liked 4-in-1 ESCs, hardly ever used them, and was intimidated to get into this, you guys do not need to be intimidated. are not for 4-in-1 ESCs or anything like that. I've flown quite a few batteries through it, had no issues. If you love all-in-ones, I'd highly recommend trying this out as well. It's really a good board for everyone, which I think is great. Emax, congratulations, because you finally targeted everyone as a whole, just like you do with your motors and everything like that. And I think this is worth trying out if you're wanting to try something different. You're not going to get a drastic increase in performance. It's just a standard F4 flight controller, D-Shot 600, ESCs, and everything like that. So you shouldn't be buying it because you want more performance with your quad. You should be buying it because you want a clean build that's really fast to build as well. And there's no need to rush anything because it builds fast. And also durability and lightweight. That's my final point I have to make. And I know this is all over the place, but I'm just trying to feed as much information as I can, and I'm already over 5 minutes. It's only 22 grams with the stack, and if you use the pigtail, which is only an extra 5.5 grams or something like that, it keeps your build super light. This is 271 grams with the heavy 2306 motors that are 2400 kV and everything like that, which is awesome. It means you can put this on an ultralight build like the Floss, and you'll probably be sub 200 grams if you use their motors. So maybe that'll be my next build. I'm not quite sure yet, guys, but that's my brief review of the Magnum. This is everything that you need to know about it. I'll post videos down to Emax's links and everything like that if you want to know specifics about the features of the board and everything like that. But that's everything that I think I needed to cover. If you have any questions or anything that I didn't cover that you're interested in, comment down below. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.